And so I'm here to ask, Mayor, I know that you are this guy's boss. Can we see that footage of him killing somebody? Or is that too much to ask?
That's too much to ask.
And why is that? Where do you get off telling the public that we can't see a video of your employees killing one of us? Hello everybody, welcome back. A while back, I ran a story about Jasonville, Indiana's police chief Ryan Vanhorn killing Steve Wheeler in 2022. That video is linked in the top right corner of your screen. If you haven't seen it yet, you'll want to get caught up. After posting that video, and the Lackluster channel reporting on another incident to do with the Jasonville Police Department, the police chief blocked comments on his Facebook page for everybody except his own followers. Multiple courts across the country have ruled that Facebook is a public forum, and that the government restricting speech of certain individuals on that public forum is a violation of people's civil rights. So, I went to the Jasonville city meeting to see if any of the elected officials were willing to check the Jasonville police chief's unlawful exercise of power.
Anybody else have anything?
Yeah. Yes, I do. My name is Craig Hendry. I think I came and introduced myself to you guys at the tail end of the last meeting. Today I'm here to talk about a couple of things. One, I want to address that there was a social media post about the police department just a few weeks ago in which the person that posted highlighted Mr. Vanhorn's theatrics when he charged me with a violation of criminal code for shining a flashlight at him. I mean, these are sworn brave heroes here. He's scared of a flashlight. And in response to this social media post, my initial point is that Mr. Vanhorn suspended public comment on his Facebook page. He didn't want to hear any adverse comments, so he set it away on his Facebook page that you had to follow him for 24 hours if you want to express your opinion on his Facebook page. So in order to express your opinion, you have to express some sort of liking to the department by following them on Facebook, which I contend is a violation of people's civil rights if they want to express themselves in a public forum. My second thing is I came in to the clerk's office a few weeks ago and I requested body camera footage from Mr. Vanhorn killing Stephen Wheeler, right? I think we all know he ended Stephen Wheeler's life in 2022. Right. Now, other governmental agencies looked at that, supposedly, and they said, hey, we're the government, we investigated the government, and we found no wrongdoing. Right? With a lot of people, 10,000 of my own subscribers on YouTube aren't happy with that. We don't think that the government should just be able to say, oh yeah, we investigated ourselves and we found no wrongdoing. So I'm here, I requested him, he denied it because, well, I guess Mr. Drummond here denied it too, if you're Mr. Drummond, I don't know. But they denied it because it wouldn't serve a public interest, they say, and because it might put somebody in danger. Well, somebody already died. With all due respect, Mr. Vanhorn killed somebody. So the person that's in danger, they're done, right? They're dead. Mr. Vanhorn isn't in any danger, and especially if he didn't do anything wrong on that day. So I'm asking, why are we withholding footage of this government's employees killing somebody, ending a man's life, and then telling the public, turning around and telling the public, hey, yeah, we killed one of you, but it's none of your interest. It's not in your best interest to see it. That's absolutely ridiculous. And so I'm here to ask, Mayor, I know that you are this guy's boss. Can we see that footage of him killing somebody? Or is that too much to ask?
That's too much to ask.
And why is that? Where do you get off telling the public that we can't see a video of your employees killing one of us?
Again, as I mentioned to the lady earlier, this is an opportunity for public comment. It's not an opportunity for question and answer.
When do we get that opportunity?
I appreciate you sharing your information with us. And sir, I believe your 3 minutes is up.
Okay, when do we get that opportunity? You offered her to come to your office. Could I come to your office?
You get a second?
A second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
So you won't meet me in your office like you offered to meet this woman about one of your
Sure.
employees? You will?
Come see me anytime. My door's
Anytime.
always
That would
open.
be
All right.
Come see me.
I absolutely will.
Okay.
I absolutely will.
Did he get offline?
The mayor told me to come see him anytime, and to his credit, he did keep his word. Here's our meeting now. I'm here with Mr. Eric Seekman.
That's correct.
All right. So really, Mr. Seekman, I wanted to first talk to you about the Jasonville Police Department Facebook page. I do think that is a serious issue. That's why I brought it up. I think that everybody has a right to express themselves in a public forum. A lot of different courts all over the U.S. have ruled that Facebook, at least when governmental agencies are using it, that Facebook is then a public forum in that capacity. So like if it's my Facebook page, my private Facebook page, I have a right to block somebody, but if it's a public Facebook page, everybody has a right to express their opinion there. Okay. That's what I gathered from the courts. Now, our courts haven't ruled on it, but I hope we don't ever have to get there. But basically what I'm saying is I think that Mr. Vanhorn should take off this whole 24-hour restriction of comments where you have to follow his page in order to comment on his page. I think that following a Facebook page is in itself a form of expression where you're saying, you know, if I'm following you, you know, perhaps I like you, perhaps I think you have some sort of valuable information that I'd like to get, but I don't think that we should have to express ourselves in that manner to comment on his Facebook page. Do you have any feedback for me on that?
I really don't. I'm not familiar with the police department's Facebook page.
Okay.
If I were, I would give you an informed comment, but I can't comment this time. I do know that there are concerns about rights to privacy, but I can't speak to where that falls with this.
Okay. Are the concerns from the police department?
Honestly, I have not had a conversation with Brian or any of his staff about that.
Okay.
You're mentioning it the other night was the first piece that I had heard of this.
Okay. Could I ask you at the next meeting, could you look into it and we have a more informed conversation maybe after the next meeting? At some point in the future, could we set a point to say we're going to address this by then?
I'm going to I will have a conversation with Ryan about it.
Okay.
But I don't know that it will go beyond that.
Okay. If
we'll
you
see.
Okay, that sounds good. And then my next question is on the shooting that happened in 2022. That's my biggest issue. That's why I got involved in Jasonville.
So I'll be happy to speak to that.
Okay.
First of all, after you brought that up, I did do a little bit of research on that.
Okay.
It was inspected or investigated by the Indiana State Police.
Yeah.
Found righteous shooting or
he was completely exonerated.
Then we had a local committee with the mayor who was before me and 2 or 3 ministers. They reviewed it as well, a committee. They reviewed and found total exoneration as well. Okay. I do know that. I can personally vouch for Ryan. Any city would be lucky to have him. I know that's not what you want to hear, but that's my opinion.
Okay.
On Ryan.
All right, and that's a fair opinion, of course. I think that Ryan, I have my own opinions on Ryan.
I heard yours the other evening. I understand where you're coming from, but he's an extremely valuable asset to our city. Okay,
and I appreciate that outlook. So my whole thing is, Mr. Mayor, is there are people in the United States today more than ever and we are a country that has historically been ridden with people that are suspicious of the government. But nowadays, I feel like we are more than ever suspicious of the government. We feel like we're being lied to by the federal government, by the state government, and sometimes, unfortunately, by the municipal governments. And so I understand, and I've done, of course, the same research as you. I didn't know that a municipal committee had been formed. I had no clue of that. But I knew that the prosecutor had seen it, and the Indiana State Police had seen it, and there had been no charges filed. It implies a complete exoneration of everything. My problem is, and a lot of my supporters' problems is that we don't exactly trust those conclusions. And the request that I made in person wasn't actually to get a copy of it, and I didn't mention any intent to make a copy of it with my equipment. My only request was to view the footage on a computer. Here it would be, and that's provided for in the law. My request is to just view it. And I'm a big Second Amendment guy. A lot of people paint people who don't like the police as, well, you must be anti-freedom or anti-something. I'm a big Second Amendment guy, and I believe in everybody's right to self-defense. And I believe that even a police officer
I will say this, and you're expressing opinions, and I will give you my opinion on that.
Yeah.
I believe that a family member of the deceased should have a right to see that. but I don't think anybody else should have a right. Once the exoneration's happened, once it's been reviewed not by only the state police, but by peers of the community where the event happened, I think it needs to be left alone. But a family member has a right to see. I believe that.
Okay.
All right.
And I understand that.
And I think that we would probably allow that. We being the police department would allow that to happen.
Okay.
But family, and I'm talking immediate family. I'm talking mother, father, sister, brother. Not beyond
Son,
that.
Daughter.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, that's actually great. I think that we can work something out then, because I've been in contact with the family. After my interview, I got in contact with Scott Wheeler, Stephen Wheeler's son. Scott went and viewed the footage, and what he said when I asked him whether he thought it was justified or not, he said, "I don't know, man. He lunged and he shot." Meaning, his dad lunged and the cop shot. Vanhorn kept saying knife in the video, but it was so small it's hard to see. Perhaps it was a 3-inch blade. I don't know. Shouldn't have happened though. He should have had backup and not used lethal force. It is important to keep in mind a few other factors that are relevant to this situation. Stephen Wheeler was on his own property when he was approached by Ryan Vanhorn. Ryan already knew that Stephen was in a distressed state of mind. And of course, when you're stressed out, the last person you want to see on your own property is a police officer. Unfortunately for Stephen Wheeler, he wasn't able to leave his own property of his own volition that day because Ryan Vanhorn ended his life. I am not satisfied with the footage not being released. I asked Mr. Vanhorn himself why he is not releasing the footage. Hey Ryan, brother, is there any reason why it's not in the public's interest to release that video you killing that guy?
Have a good day, Craig.
You just get away with killing people, huh? Some might say you got away with murder, brother. Did he drop that knife before he lunged at you? I think he did. I hope that we can get to the bottom of this incident, of this death that was caused at the hands of a government agent. Take care, stay free. I'm Craig Hendry with the Hendry Media Group. We'll see you in the next one.